Hi everyone, great to meet you. I'm Celine, and I'll be teaming up with Sam from here on out to bring you some really exciting content. You'll start seeing me pop up in some of his videos, primarily handling the slightly nerdier, more technical side of our workflow. Today, I want to walk you through my entire process, the specific tools I use to build a digital version of myself, from avatar generation and voice design to crafting natural mannerisms. Once we have the digital persona ready, I'll show you how I turn that into content lightning fast by stitching it into a comprehensive content pipeline. This workflow is designed specifically so you aren't stuck manually clipping, editing, and posting every single piece of content on your own. So, here's a quick overview of what I'll cover today. We will start with image creation and upscaling, move into voice design and avatar generation, and then hit the game changer. That game changer is how I use Vizard to automatically chop long videos into snackable viral clips, schedule them across platforms, and keep everything organized in a content calendar. Stick around until the end because I'm also going to compare a few other tools I use so you can see the trade-offs between different tech stacks. Let's start with the image foundation. And for this, I personally love using a platform called Fal.ai because it's super flexible. It's an incredible resource because it hosts a wide variety of image engines, and you only pay for what you actually use, which keeps costs down. For the portrait I made for this specific demo, let's call her Margot, I used the Flux Pro Kontext model to get that perfect look. I upload a high-quality reference photo, request a standard 16:9 render, and I make sure to generate 2 distinct base images. I always create one image with a closed mouth and one with a subtle, friendly smile, because that little detail is critical later on. It matters immensely when you get to the animation stage, as the engine needs those variations to make the face move naturally. Now, Fal.ai is very affordable, often costing just pennies per image, but sometimes the output can be a little soft or slightly blurry. Most of these AI models output something like 720 or 1080 resolution, which is okay, but not quite professional grade. If you want a truly clean avatar that holds up well on larger formats like desktop screens or big TV displays, you absolutely need to upscale the image. That is where a tool like Topaz Photo AI comes into the picture as a crucial step for quality control. I drop my raw Fal.ai images into Topaz, and then I run a face recovery and an upscale pass, and honestly, the difference is night and day. Things get crisp, edges sharpen up, and skin texture starts to look surprisingly natural instead of that typical AI smoothed look. I make sure to name my files clearly, saving them as Margot Avatar No Smile and Margot Avatar Smile so I don't confuse them during the assembly process. Now let's move on to the voice, and my go-to choice right now is definitely ElevenLabs. Their creator plan is fantastic because it gives you a ton of flexibility for a really reasonable monthly cost, which is great for scaling. There are essentially 2 different paths you can take here depending on your needs for authenticity and privacy. You can either clone your actual voice, which involves reading specific prompts for safety and verification, or you can design something entirely new. For this Margot demo, I chose to voice design a brand new character from scratch. Female, friendly, and sounding like she's in her mid-20s. ElevenLabs lets you listen to a few quick samples, you pick one you like, tweak the pitch and tone, and then you are ready to export. If you want a perfect clone of your real voice, they can certainly do that too, but just be aware of the necessary safety checks. For most digital assistants or fun characters, I find that voice design is much faster and helps you avoid that extra privacy overhead. Moving on to the avatars, there are basically 2 different flavors of workflows for animating these characters. You have the classic approach, and then you have the newer, more automated engines that are gaining popularity lately. Both work well, but they offer completely different results and come with different price tags for your production. With the old school approach, you create an avatar from multiple video samples of yourself talking for about 3 to 5 minutes. The system basically learns your specific mouth shapes, how you pause, and your unique gestures so it mimics your true identity. The secret trick here is in the recording. Talk for a few minutes straight, stop naturally every 20 seconds, and don't over-exaggerate your hand movements. If you get too wild with your gestures, the avatar will copy those, and it can actually look a bit goofy when you repurpose it later. This approach is perfect if you really want your avatar to capture your personal mannerisms, quirks, and natural personality. Alternatively, you can create an avatar purely from still images, which is exactly the method I used to build Margot. I just uploaded the 2 images, the smile and the neutral expression, and paired them with the ElevenLabs audio track. There is one small but incredibly important tip to keep in mind regarding that first frame of your video. Most platforms expect a neutral, closed-mouth first frame, so never start with a smile or an open expression. If your first frame is smiling, some engines will misinterpret that as the neutral state and then over-exaggerate the smile when animating. Recently, Heygen released a newer, more advanced avatar model that is way more expressive and forgiving about that first frame issue. It even animates subtle background movement and significantly improves the synchronization of your eyebrows and your lips. The only downside is that new models sometimes come with stricter limits, like a 5-minute monthly cap on total generated video. If you are producing tons of content, those limits can be a bit restrictive or become expensive, so keep an eye on your usage. While those avatar engines are incredibly useful for animation, they don't actually solve the content distribution headache. This is exactly where Vizard becomes my absolute MVP and the backbone of my entire production pipeline. To be perfectly clear, Vizard doesn't replace Heygen or ElevenLabs. It fills a totally different role in your workflow. Instead, it accelerates how you turn that long-form footage into a steady stream of short, impactful clips that actually get views. Imagine you have an hour-long interview or a complex multi-topic live stream and you need to get the best parts out to your audience. Vizard automatically finds those most shareable moments, the emotional beats, the big punchlines, and the pauses that people stop scrolling for. It turns those moments into ready-to-post clips, meaning no manual scrubbing, no guesswork, and zero wasted time. There are 3 main reasons I rely on Vizard for every single project I handle these days. First, the auto-edit feature for viral clips is brilliant, as it analyzes your long video and highlights the most engaging snippets. It isn't random at all. Vizard looks for spikes in energy, the repetition of key phrases, and other indicators that predict virality. Second, the auto-schedule feature allows you to set your posting frequency and just let the system queue your content automatically. You do not need to babysit a calendar every single day because Vizard will drip out your clips exactly on your schedule. Finally, the content calendar organizes everything, letting you review, tweak, reschedule, or publish to your platforms from one place. Pairing Vizard with your avatar and voice work is where things truly get fun and efficient. For example, I can generate a 3-minute Margot explainer video, export the raw audio, and then drop the whole thing into Vizard. Vizard will then slice that into multiple short segments, optimize each one for different platforms like TikTok or Reels, and suggest hashtags. That means your digital assistant can show up consistently across all your socials without you doing manual post-by-post editing. Now let's do a quick reality check because other tools are definitely great at specific tasks. Heygen is world-class for facial animation, ElevenLabs is top-tier for voice, and Fal.ai and Topaz are perfect for images. However, each one comes with trade-offs, such as monthly minute limits, extra spending for quality, or the need for cleanup. Vizard's massive advantage is workflow efficiency and pure, unadulterated scale. It doesn't try to beat the voice synthesizers, it just takes the assets you have already made and makes them publish-ready. That is massive for creators who want consistency and high frequency without needing a full-time editor on the payroll. Let me quickly recap my end-to-end workflow so you can see how it looks in practice. First, I generate an avatar image in Fal.ai with 2 versions, one neutral and one with a smile. Next, I upscale both of those images in Topaz Photo AI to ensure they are perfectly crisp and sharp. Then, I design or clone a voice in ElevenLabs and export the high-quality audio file. After that, I create the animated avatar in Heygen, either using the old method for mannerisms or the new model for expression. I export that long-form avatar video and immediately import it into Vizard. Finally, I let Vizard scan the file, generate a batch of clips, and use the calendar to schedule everything across my socials. My final tip for you is to always keep a neutral first frame if you use image-based avatars with older models. If you want authentic mannerisms, record a short natural talking to camera session and try not to overdo the wild gestures. Use ElevenLabs voice design for characters and cloning for brand continuity, but be ready for the extra verification steps required. Most importantly, invest the time to really learn the Vizard scheduling workflow, because it saves hours every single week. I have included direct links in the video description for all the tools I mentioned today: Fal, Topaz, ElevenLabs, Heygen, and Vizard. Some of those may be affiliate links, which helps support this channel, so thank you in advance if you choose to use them. If you found this tutorial useful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Let me know in the comments if you want a detailed guide on voice cloning or Vizard auto edit settings. I have been testing these pipelines for months, and the possibilities for creators are only getting crazier every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.